What a beautiful day in Cyclesland. So at the moment I'm on 1,000 calories of cardio per week. That's split into 4 250 calorie sessions, and I'm training abs with that as well. So 4 lots of 250 calories with abs. In terms of pre-cardio, it's just 1 black coffee, 10 mega yohimbine and topical yohimbine with the sweat belt on, which usually takes me about half an hour on the treadmill, slightly less on the stepper. I didn't throw food at you.
You did.
I'm very hangry now though.
No, but it's worse now.
The contest prep is getting to me and I'm not even completing.
It was like 6 weeks out. 11, I'm like, fuck.
12. I just had 300 grams of 5% organic mince and that's it. That's why I'm angry. Sushi tip. Because the protein consumption isn't very good here, I always have a big protein shake and then I consume sushi. Or like 5 grams of leucine. 5 grams of leucine. But leucine tastes like shit. I like the gold decor. It's good. The real test though, five stars. Always a sign of a good hotel. Look, you can fully see them people over there.
What, they're banging?
Or, no, but you will be able to see them bang, definitely. Always a sign of a good hotel. Peppermint tea is my preferred choice, but green tea will be accepted. I'm going to go to Selfridges, go to Night Town, and then chill. I think the spa closes quite early here, so I'm just going to go tomorrow morning instead. Arm day today, 3 exercises for biceps, 3 for triceps. I'm in favour of an arm day at the end of my cycle. It's not too taxing. It also frees up more movements for my lower sessions in which I can just focus on those compound movements and not have to worry about training biceps or triceps after. And the way that my split's set up at the moment, having that rest day between quads and delts and hamstrings and back, and I can train arms today on the Sunday. So in terms of exercise selection, if your gym is quite poorly equipped when it comes down to machinery for arms, then the Strength Training Anatomy is fantastic, a really good read, and the Muscle Exercises Encyclopedia is a really good read as well. Not just for arms, for many other movements, shoulders, legs, etc, etc. Opening movement for biceps today is spider curls, so chest supported EZ bar curls. I was doing the D handle curls by using the straight bar and putting the D handle in there, but this cable isn't that great and I felt too much anterior delt come into play, so go for chest supported. First set 8 to 10, second set 10 to 12. Right, we are using 2 ropes instead of 1. Stereotypically, a lot of us bodybuilders have a much wider shoulder joint compared to the average individual. So when we utilise 1 single rope, getting into that fully lengthened and fully shortened positions, the range is terrible. We get to that bottom part of the movement, we push into our belly button and we start flaring our elbows out. It's not what we want, we don't want to see that. So by having 2, we can get that fully lengthened, fully shortened position, putting as much emphasis on the tricep as possible. Again, with the chest support, we are taking any momentum pushing into the movement, just as we would do with the EZ curl, just as we would do with the chest supported row, for example, at King's. We want as much emphasis on that tricep as possible.
I'm on that mate, sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, you got it.
The second bicep exercise, we've got 70-degree incline curl on the bench. Any less than this position, I find that tension comes off. You don't want to be in a position when you are coming forward with your shoulder either. You don't want to be from the side angle, you don't want to be dragging your shoulders forward as if you're going for an uppercut motion. Shoulders pinned back as much emphasis on that bicep as possible. Don't have to go too heavy on this either. It's one of them exercises where form is key. Second tricep exercise, we're on 2 dips. I'll just do 2 sets of 10 of these with focus on time under tension. I don't really like doing these weighted, to be totally honest with you. I do the seated dip machine and a close grip bench as well at King's, but when it comes down to the arm day, I just like to do these body weight, nice and controlled. That is arms done for down here. I'm going to go upstairs now and do a 4x6 set on hammers. So 4 sets, 6 reps, 10 seconds rest in between, and then finishing on 3 sets of cross-body tricep extensions, holding onto the cable itself, cross-body, and that'll be our arm session done. Post-workout, we are having 75 grams of pasta, and it's Sunday, so I haven't been shopping yet, so we are having tuna. You just can't go wrong with tuna. And 1 scoop of Support Max post-workout. Carbs are still at 300 on the training day. I've just taken out my caramel Snacker Jacks post-workout. And either having rice and chicken or pasta. Alright then, Tommy. Refeeds. I've done this video before, but new subscribers, new questions, we'll go over it again. Refeeds. I think refeeds are a bit of a pussy move, to be honest. To be brutally honest. I think people jump the gun far too quickly, start a deficit 3 or 4 weeks in and go, oh my god, I can't cope with this low food, I must need a refeed. Get over it. I'm very, very cautious with refeeds. And when I give them to my clientele, and even myself. I've done 1 contest prep, my first one, with no refeeds. My second contest prep with refeeds, which led to overeating and binge eating. So I think you need to be very mentally strong and in a place and in a mindset where you can cope with a refeed. In terms of the literature and its benefits hormonally with leptin, you're looking at a 2-day refeed to be more beneficial than 1. So if you can split that into like a Sunday and a Monday, or a Saturday and a Sunday refeed, it's probably more beneficial than just 1. But we'll go over a stereotypical one today. In terms of when to implement a refeed, if we were to take a 16-week contest prep, for example, if food's getting lower and lower and you don't want to pull any more food, then you can manipulate carbohydrates so you can have a refeed. Or you can just start on a relatively high carbohydrate intake and gradually decrease so you aren't going below a set number. So based on contest prepping, before your very first contest, I would always experiment with your carbohydrate intake and see the lowest possible point of carbohydrates you can go to, where you can function still, training performance isn't too badly affected. But we'll look at refeeds stereotypically. Let's take this client, for example, who's been dieting for, I don't know, 10 weeks, and he's now on 300 grams of carbs and he's not coping and he needs a refeed, okay? So essentially, what he has been on is 2100 grams of carbs a week. That's 300 grams of carbs Monday through to Sunday. What we do is we simply subtract 50 grams of carbs, or less if you wanted any less, but we'll go with 50 because it's a nice easy number. You're essentially subtracting 50, saving up that carbohydrate intake that you've subtracted, putting it in the bank, and then adding it on to any given day so you can have a big feed up. So what that might look like is 250 grams of carbs Monday through to Friday and Sunday. So you've saved 350 grams of carbs, you add it to 250, you get 600 grams of carbs. But Tom, that's still the same carbohydrate intake and I want to continue my deficit. What do we do from there? So depending on what you or your coach wants to do with your deficit going into your next week of dieting, you might want to go for a 100 calorie deficit, you might want to go for a 200 calorie deficit. Let's take 200 calories. Say you're 6 weeks out and you need to increase your deficit by 200 calories. What could we do? We could take 22 grams of fat from your macros, but because fats are probably on the low side anyway, it's not a great idea. So 200 calories is 50 grams of carbs, 50 times 4, 200. You could just subtract that amount from your refeed day, giving you 550. So that way, you're refeeding and you're still in that deficit of 200 calories. Is that okay? Can you understand that? I think I've covered it pretty well in 3 minutes and 32 seconds and continuing. If you've got any questions or you think I've missed out anything on carbohydrate refeeds, then please drop me a message in the comment section below. But that is pretty much the basic fundamentals of a refeed. Where else could you take that 200 calorie deficit from? You could take it from Friday and Sunday. Mentally, because you are in a position where you know you're about to get a big amount of food, that day before you could subtract 25 grams of carbs, so 225, and the day after you could subtract 25 grams of carbs. Because from a digestion perspective, you may not be in a position where you want to consume the same amount of carbohydrates anyway. And on the Friday, you're excited about that Saturday meal, so you're okay with 225. There we go. I'm going to leave it there. That's about it from me. Hope you all have a fantastic day or evening. Thank you, good night. Much love.